Alright, so thanks for watching Underground is Female. Today we have Trabadass with us.
Hi.
Okay, Trabadass, so how have you been doing?
I've been good. Busy.
Yeah, you're up to a lot these days.
Yeah, all the time.
Constantly working. And you just came from New York, right?
Yeah, a couple of weekends. Well, not just came back, but I just come back from Vero Beach, and then before that was New York for the Hip Hop Film Festival. And yeah, for my documentary that we made a couple of years ago called Underground Tantrum.
I remember.
And so yeah,
that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was it was 2017, beginning of 2017.
Okay.
So yeah, a year ago.
Yeah,
a year ago. Feels like a couple of years ago.
Because you're putting so much work.
Yeah, I mean, so much has happened since then. But yeah, so I got to show that, and like it was my first time in New York, so I got to see like Harlem and Manhattan and meet a whole bunch of amazing people and artists, and it was like the best weekend of my life.
And Underground Tantrum is about the underground in South Florida.
Yeah,
right?
South Florida underground music scene. It's basically kind of, I didn't want to, I mean, it's only 7 minutes. So it's of course not going to show everything.
You put a lot of content into it though.
I tried, yeah. I tried to pack it in. The biggest critique I got was that it felt like it should have been longer, and there was way more to talk about.
That's a critique.
Right. And so, but it was more, I just kind of wanted to show people a slice, and it was more for people who, it's for the community to feel that they've been acknowledged, and then for other people to be like, oh, so this new stuff that, it's not new anymore, but that kind of more hardcore punkish kind of vibe that's been becoming popular in the mainstream comes from South Florida. A lot of it comes from South Florida. So kind of giving credit to that, and also giving credit to the fact that Miami and South Florida has had, we've always had really good music down here, and music is huge here, but it doesn't get as much recognition as it should, because where it's kind of everybody's really separated, and now we're starting to build, we're getting more community based, and so that's really cool. I mean, with this, it's definitely.
I would agree. And you had Baby G in it, you had Giovannos, you had, who else was in it?
I had...
You had Tree Woman, right?
Yeah, she popped up. Yeah, I didn't have any women in that documentary, so I feel like my next film was kind of me, like, kind of making up for that in a way, because the underground down here, unfortunately, at least at the time, there really wasn't a woman. So that when I was looking through, because I interviewed Forbes, and when I was looking through his music video archive, I found her, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta put her in there a couple of times, because she
caught my attention too.
She definitely does, and so I thought that was cool. And I also interviewed Danny Boy Styles, who, 2-time Grammy Award winner, which was like amazing. That was one of the best moments of my life. And he did this song, what is it, with Mims? What is it? Drop It Like It's Hot? No, yeah. Wow, I'm okay.
This Is Why I'm Hot.
This Is Why I'm Hot. Wow, I normally know what it is, but I brain farted. But yeah, and so then also the Stash Records, who was the publisher and producer for X's Look at Me, and I got the rights to that song, and I was like, literally that movie changed my entire, flipped me upside down, and that's when I solidified TRABADASS Productions as something, and I did the logo, and started with the logo, then
the birth of Trabadass.
The birth of Trabadass, pretty much. It was Underground Tantrum,
which I think makes so much sense, because it's like underground, you're like rising up like from it and everything.
I think about it like that.
It definitely comes full circle in that sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoyed I think someone commented underneath and was like, oh, this isn't the whole underground. I'm like, how's she gonna get the whole underground in 7 minutes? This is just a picture of what's going on. People don't need to be a little bit understanding.
And I think I did talk to, because I did get some backlash, but I had really good conversation. I was like, I totally feel you. If I could have made this, and you know what? I think one of my goals when I graduate from school is I do want to make a feature documentary, kind of chronicling underground South Florida music, but that's gonna take an hour to an hour and a half. That's a long movie to do, so I definitely would want to do that in the future. I think this was more of just a stepping stone for that kind of content. And then right after the Raider Clan documentary was made, I'm not saying I did anything, but I'm saying I did it first, because there was no movie type vibe with anything underground that had that documentary film aspect. So I'm glad that I'd be proud that I can say I was the first one who did it. So
Totally get it. So you were saying that you were kind of like, you want to do something for women. So then after that, what's the next film you created?
So after that, it was Habit, which is...
I love.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
she came to the
I
screen.
love. I feel like it.
That was really nice. But yeah, so that one was a short film on... It's about this main character named Just Gamey, and she goes through a situation with sexual assault, but it's kind of one of those like nuanced situations where you don't really know until later and you feel kind of gross about it. And so she goes through that, and she's at a party and she sees the guy, and it kind of triggers her a little bit.
Yeah.
And so she tries talking to her friends about it because she realizes that it's bothering her, and they kind of just like invalidate the whole experience. Like, no, you know how guys get with blue balls, so she gets really frustrated and really faded, and all of that kind of bubbles into, and she starts to see him act out, so that kind of bubbles into her taking a bloody revenge.
Yeah.
And I want it to be like it's a rape revenge genre. I mean, if we're gonna put it with that, I mean, it's really intense, but I feel like it's more of like a catharsis, and also at the end, you see that it's what she did isn't okay.
Yeah.
And so it's that kind of full circle, a cycle of abuse that, it's not, I don't want to like glorify doing anything, even revenge.
I don't think you did. Like, I really love how you put it together, and like being a woman, like I could relate to like the topics that you brought up in that film, and like people like to be like, I feel like people would look at that and be like, oh, that's not rape, but I mean, it is, and that's rape culture acknowledging that as not rape, like, you know what I mean? So I think it opened up a lot of like that film will bring conversation up, and I do like what she did, because that's how you feel sometimes. Because that's how you feel sometimes, and so it was just really cool to see you do that, and the actors were amazing. Like, it was a well put out together film.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It was really tough to make. I mean, it wasn't tough. Like, I had such a good team behind me. I had pretty much an all-female above the line. So I had, Kira Gardner as my producer, and then Millie Jenkins as my director of photography, and then I had Jacqueline Zeri as my editing, and then I had Sabrina Tar doing sound, and then also Ray. I got a shout out, the production designer. The one guy on the big team. But I had a lot of men also helping out. But it was really nice to have it be
core.
It's all core was led by women creatively pretty much the entire time, and writing it was pretty tough, but then once it got to shooting, everyone else took the weight off me, and then once it got to editing, Jackie, she took that weight off of me also, because I don't know how I would have been able to like watch the assault scene over and over again. I mean, it was even tough watching it while shooting, but it kind of helped me heal, if anything, because it's based on real stuff, and it's kind of crazy how her assault scene ended up looking so much like mine. It's crazy, down to the colors, and I didn't even intend it to be that way. It just ended up being that way. So seeing it over and over again, kind of like gets you desensitized to it.
That's true. And then you also did like something for African dolls, Nadia dolls. Yeah.
So this artist, her name is Nadia, and she reached out to me on Instagram. She found me. I did a music video for a group in Tallahassee called Cap 6, and we did a beautiful music video that was shown in this gallery exhibition for women of color. And so I think she found me there, and she's a sculptor from up in the Tallahassee area. In Quincy. She's a sculptor from Quincy, and she makes these beautiful African dolls.
I watched it.
And I actually I'm really into dolls ever since I was a kid, and so then as I got older, the more sophisticated ball jointed dolls. I got into on Instagram, and then I have a doll sculptor coming up to me, and she makes these dolls, and they're like a spiritual catalyst to her when she makes them. So when people look at them, they feel like they're the they're the beauty standard. Right, they see themselves.
It's important. People need to see themselves more in media, more in everything.
Right.
It should be diverse. And so I love that you did that.
And Lupita Nyong'o actually, she sent her a doll because they met on the set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was, I think the artist was on set just to watch, and she put met Lupita and she told her about her dolls and she sent one to her. She sent her the video and she wants her to be on Vogue or something. Yeah, no, like she's trying to work a lot with her into making it, you know, something bigger. And she thought she would have never, you know.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
You just keep going, and then one day it just blows up and you're like, what? And then so now you're also working on a new film, right?
Yeah. So my next one, this is my thesis, so it's my biggest one ever, I guess, in my film school career. I have my eyes on my feature in the future, but for now, right now, I'm making a short film that kind of, it chronicles drug abuse and drug culture in youth in high school, and it's based on all true stories. I really like to do things that I've experienced or I know people have experienced, just because I feel like it's more authentic to me.
For sure.
And so it's all takes place in a high school on a day where there's like a pot brownie epidemic, and it's a drama comedy where basically these kids who they trap and they do a lot of drugs, and it's kind of a compilation of all these stories and you know how they hurt themselves and hurt each other, and but at the end of the day, I think it's more about loneliness and what teens go through, you know. And I kind of really like analyzing,
like a coming of age.
Yeah. I love coming of age movies. I love films that focus on adolescence and the adolescent experience, and I find it really interesting how, at least down here in South Florida, in the suburbs, because you know I grew up in West Pines and West Miramar, so it's really nice suburbs, and these kids are trapping out of estates, you know. So why are they doing these things, and why do they think it's cool, and what are they trying to avoid? Yeah, you know, and because of all the issues that we have had with Xanax, all like that down here.
Yeah, for sure. And then you were also a part of Trap Circus, right?
Yeah, so that I'm really excited about. So I guess, well, this is coming out in September, so I'll have my contract out by then. So you can
have my contract.
Okay, because I don't like to announce anything unless I have a contract done already. But yeah, so I do have, you know, I'm doing head media director for Trap Circus, which I'm really excited about, and you know, get to handle all the media. I already did the recap video last year, so kind of like coming up with a new organized way of doing it, setting up my own team and my own people and getting people together and being a boss and being ahead of something is really nice. It was really exciting. He kind of just dropped it on me. Like, we were at the promoter meeting for Trap Circus, and I just quickly, before he closed up the meeting, there was a bunch of people there, and I was like, hey, ask about media. And he was like, oh, everybody who's media, come to head of media, Christy, right over there in the corner. And before I could even like digest that he called me the head of media, there was just like a flurry of people in front of me, like, oh my God, Chrissy, and I was like, okay, one by one, talk to me. What do you do? What do you shoot with? You know, kind of stuff. But yeah,
it was like you were already ready. You were like, I know.
Yeah, you know.
That's awesome, Christy. Well, I'm really, really proud of you, and I'm proud of Trabadass, and like I'm proud to call you my friend and everything like that, and to work with you and stuff like that.
Thank you so much. I love what you're doing and everything that you've been putting out, and I try to support as much as possible, and just like your retweet everything, and your poetry is.
Thank you.
Like, please keep doing those little. I love those little videos. Like those are. I listen to them all the time. Yeah. Like the first one that you put out. Oh, I'm hearing it in my head right now, but just especially like the ending got me, where it's just like it says humanity. It said our humanity intertwining with God. I've cried, I think, several times listening to that. Like, it's.
Oh, thank you, Mom. Thank you. So there's not a lot of women in your film school, correct?
Yes and no. The big thing with my film school is that there's a lot of white people.
Okay.
So everyone's pretty much right. There's only one black girl in my class, and it's 30 people.
Wow.
And she's in animation. And we do have women, which is really what I find really cool about, at least my class in film school, even though it's majority of men, the whole school in general. In my class, the women are the strongest, and they're the ones that are the student reps. There has not been a male student representative or head of anything in my class. Like, it's all women who take the lead, and you know, who have the most power, basically, when it comes to things that go on in our class and stuff like that, and fundraising and money and those kinds of things. So that is really awesome, and it's really led by a lot of strong women.
That's
beautiful. The men in my class are pretty, you know, for the most part, They're pretty good, and they're pretty supportive, and they kind of just let us do our thing. I do find, though, that still now, but especially when I first started film school, that people were very intimidated of me. They didn't know how to handle me. They still don't. And I've definitely, since making Habit, since it was such material that a lot of them aren't exposed to, they're from, a lot of people that are in film school, they have kind of a bubble. Not everyone, but a lot of them do grow up with that kind of white American small town kind of vibe. So when they see someone like me who's the complete opposite of them, it really throws them for a whirlwind. So they don't. Yeah. So I mean, you're welcome. But it's still.
I'm sure you encountered something.
I mean, it was really rough in the beginning. I felt really alone. I had never felt so Hispanic in my entire life. I never felt so different. I felt really, but I found my people in film school, so I can't complain because I have my people, I have my group that I work with and that I play with, and then I also have other people outside of my class that I like. We have like a whole little Latin squad, and we get together and watch each other's movies and stuff. So, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, good for you, and it's gonna continue to get better for you, and you're gonna continue to encounter obstacles, but I think you're gonna overcome them gracefully. And you're amazing. Like, I can believe when you told me your age, I was like, what? Like, you're like doing all of this, so you're gonna go there. I'm not even worried about you. Okay, well, let them know where they could.
You can find me at Trabadass, Trabadass, and in Instagram and Twitter, and pretty much everything, and also on YouTube. So just look it up.
Just type it in. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below, and catch us next week.